This is the Meta Quest 3S, a standalone mixed reality and virtual reality VR headset from Facebook. This is the budget-friendly version of the Quest 3, and Meta has done something a little bit different with the unboxing experience of the Quest 3S. They've gone for a more open box design compared to the chest box design of the Quest 3. Now, inside the box, you should expect the VR headset itself, alongside two Touch Plus controllers, alongside also having the glasses and spacebar, and a USB-C brick and cable included with that. You should also expect some manuals and a MetaQuest Plus protection guide if you ever want to put a protection plan on your VR headset. Now, I want to keep this video pretty straightforward, which is why I think we need to talk about the pros and cons of the Quest 3S. Now, in terms of the pros of the Quest 3S, we need to talk about performance, which is especially shown in the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chipset that has Wi-Fi 7 capabilities, 2 times better GPU performance, 50% better GPU power efficiency than XR2 Gen 1, and 8 times better AI performance than XR2 Gen 1. It also has 2GB more RAM than the Quest 2, and a whopping overall 2.5 times better performance than Quest 2. But can you actually feel this performance boost? Well, yeah, in games such as Beat Saber and onwards, combine this with the better tracking system and better cameras, and you're gonna have a great gameplay and great overall experience on the Quest 3S. This leads me to my second point, which is the cameras, and simply put, these cameras are amazing. Meta has really done a good job in delivering great quality cameras for the price, and this is arguably one of the biggest selling points for the Quest 3S. The Quest 3S has 2 infrared illuminating cameras alongside 2 color pass-through cameras and a total of 4 infrared tracking cameras. This pretty much means that you should be expecting full mixed reality color pass-through just like the Quest 3, alongside better controller and hand tracking, and even better low light tracking, even better than the Quest 3, as you're going to be able to see. The Quest 3S does far better in low light scenarios than the Quest 3 due to its infrared illuminators, even to the point where you can play certain games that involve hand tracking.
Right.
The next thing I want to talk about is the controllers. Meta has pretty much grabbed the Quest 3 controllers and have put them into the Quest 3S. They're the same true Touch Plus controllers that have better haptics, that don't have that annoying ring that the Quest 2 controllers used to have, and that have slightly better battery life, use machine learning technology to have a far better tracking system, and are overall less weighty. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the controllers. There's not much else to really talk about there, but something that we do need to talk about is battery life. Battery life is a bit of a complicated topic, because on one hand you have a bigger battery capacity and also a more power efficient GPU, but on the other hand you have a bigger and faster RAM, and also you have more cameras and sensors that will end up draining your battery life. So it really comes down to if you play mixed reality or virtual reality games. As in mixed reality, you can expect about less than 2 hours of gameplay, while in virtual reality, you can expect about 2.2 to 2.5 hours of gameplay. It really all comes down to what you do with the VR headset. The last thing that I want to talk about is the price tag. For $300, you're getting a 128GB model VR headset. That includes the highly anticipated Batman Arkham Shadow game, alongside 3 months of Quest Plus. Combine this with all of the features that I previously mentioned, and you're looking at a pretty darn good deal. Meta has really nailed it at making a budget-friendly VR headset. This is arguably the #1 reason why this VR headset is #1 in Amazon, and why it's probably going to become the best-selling VR headset soon on the market. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the Quest 3S. The 4 major pros make this a really convincing VR headset. But now we need to talk about the minute cons and also the major cons of this VR headset. Arguably one of the biggest cons with the Quest 3S is the fact that we're still using the old Fresnel lenses and display of that of the Quest 2. Now if you're upgrading from a Quest 2 or are new to VR, then this won't be an issue for you. You're probably going to have a great time and are not going to notice a difference. However, if you're coming from something like a Quest 3, hopefully not, or are coming from a VR headset that used Pancake lenses, then this is probably going to be a pretty big con for you, especially saying that Fresnel lenses are just not as good as Pancake lenses. Now, if you already don't know the major differences between Pancake and Fresnel lenses, let me break it down for you. Fresnel lenses have a small FOV and are generally cheaply made. They also have a small sweet spot and are blurry on the edges and only clear in the center, while Pancake lenses are clear all around, generally have a bigger FOV, but generally cost a lot more money to produce. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to display. It's quite sad to see that Meta had to cut corners here, but then again, they had to keep the price under $300 somehow, and I guess this was the way that they chose to do it. But another thing that they also cut corners on was the build quality a bit. Now, it's not like they cut corners on the build quality a ton, like it does still feel like it's well built, especially for $300. But it has about the same cheap build quality that you would expect on the Quest 2, which is just something to keep in mind if you're thinking about getting incredibly good premium quality on the Quest 3S. Alright, so we've already covered the display and lenses and how the build quality, despite being decent, could be slightly better. The last and final thing that I want to cover is the fact that the Quest 3S doesn't have a hardware depth sensor, and the fact that the Quest 3S is also missing a proximity sensor. Pretty much, if you don't know what this is, a proximity sensor will allow the Quest 3S to detect motion and automatically turn on and off depending on whether you put on the VR headset or take it off. This allows it to pretty much save energy and not waste energy and be turned on for a long period of time when it's not in use. While the depth sensor in the Quest 3S allows it to understand your environment more and scan your environment easier to play mixed reality games. Both of these sensors can play a key role in the entire experience and overall immersion of the VR headset. Now, despite the Quest 3S not having a hardware depth sensor, it still uses a software depth sensor that is able to get the job done, and it's able to do it pretty well, but still, the hardware depth sensor is far better than just using software. Alright, we're at the end of the road where we've discussed both the pros and cons of the Quest 3S. So what are my final thoughts? Well, I'll keep it short and sweet for you. If you're on a budget, or if you're new to VR and don't want to spend a lot of money or don't have a lot of money to spend, then the Quest 3S is perfect. It nails it in pretty much every single aspect. It has a ton of features, 75% of the features to be exact, of the Quest 3, while at the same time having a cheap price point. It really is a great VR headset to get into VR, and even mixed reality. Now, me personally, I won't be keeping this VR headset, not because it's terrible, but just because I have money to spend. So if you have money to spend and you want to get the best of the best, then go ahead and get yourself the Quest 3, which is also a great deal and a great VR headset. But if you're on a budget, the Quest 3S is great. If you have money to spend, the Quest 3 is the way to go. I also have a couple other questions and answers that you can answer on your own. I have a list of it right here, and I hope that helps you decide on what VR headset to get. But for now, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys later on another video. Peace out, bye.